Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of the CFTV preview show, the Chelsea Fan TV preview show, with myself and Kevin. Listen, mate, when I go to point towards you, it ends up pointing the other way. I always do that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's
but yeah,
perfect.
man, listen, we recorded the podcast earlier. Obviously, people are going to see that before this preview. But mate, I mean, I don't even want to talk too much about Leeds. We'll obviously touch on it, and then we'll go into Brentford and our team and how we think that's going to go. Um, I mean, let's just start. Kev, how do you feel about Chelsea at the moment?
Hmm.
Such a simple question, but it's never a simple answer, is it?
I could say there's improvement, and that shows how bad we really was for me to mention the word improvement. But I think I've said it 100 million times now since that Villa game we've come on. I think prior to that Villa game, um, it was a joke, and the lads were not willing to take risks. And I think from that Villa game, we've gone forward and we've took chances. And up until the last 30 minutes, the extra time against Liverpool, we was doing the same thing. And last night, it was an open game. Apart from the last 20 minutes, say, where we sat back a little bit, but we've gone out and played a little bit more. And we are getting joy, we're getting goals, but we are conceding far too many as well. So signs of improvement, but just the little fine margins are letting us down at the moment, which we've talked about all season. So it's just been the same old, really. But yeah, feeling kind of positive because you never know where this FA Cup run could take us. You know, we've got a good. We were treated to Leicester City at home, which I believe we can
Mate,
win.
that's the best draw we could have got. Like, I mean, well, actually,
Coventry,
Coventry, Coventry would
Coventry.
be nice.
Yeah. But it's brilliant that Wolves are still in it. So potentially we could have Wolves in the semi final. So we could be going back. We could be going back. We could be potentially be going to Wembley 3 times in the season. So how about that? So all the negative talk going around the club, we've potentially gone to Wembley 3 times.
Three times.
Yeah, Carabao
Oh,
Cup, semi
semi-final.
final, and the
Yeah.
final.
I didn't think
So
about that.
when you look at it like that, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't look too bad. But when you actually look at it, results wise, performance wise, it has been bad. But to think that potentially we could be going to Wembley 3 times in one season, it's not that bad after all, isn't it?
Bro. I mean, listen, we need a bit of luck. We need to make our own luck as well. I mean, we were speaking about it before with one of your mates. What's his name? T.
T.
Yeah, T stuck 2 quid on match bingo, and managed to pull out 125 quid, which I have to say is better than a lot of people. We never guarantee anything when you play these games. Match bingo, there's no skill. It's just that if you want to have a little bit of fun with your mates.
Oh, it's
T obviously watches the channel, and
well, you don't have to be Ivan Tony putting a accumulator on or going down to your local bookies. It's just literally all you got to do is download the app, and that's what my friend's done. He's literally seen these videos because he follows me very well. He's like Kev, yeah, fair play for being on. So he literally seen all the advertisement skills by Alex. He's downloaded the app. He's had 2 quid to his name. He's put a quick bet on, and then within 2 hours, the game's come through. He's won £125. I did not believe him. I said, "Stop sassy shit." Well, I said, "Why?" In my head, I thought, "Why would you lie?" I said, "Send me the screenshot." Sent me the screenshot. £125 is one off
there
two
you go,
quid.
mate.
So there you go. I did it for me. But Alex, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't even bothered about it up until my friend sent me that screenshot. Now every week I'll be going on to match bingo and doing my rounds. So people get involved with it. The money's there to be won.
Fair play, mate. Well, you've got to be over 18, guys. So I'm afraid if you're under 18, you can't do it. But if you're over 18, give it a go. If you can use our link, that would help a lot. It shows Match Bingo that we are helping, and it helps the channel as well subsequently. But yeah, check it out, guys. Let us know what you think, and we'll be giving shout outs to anyone who wins money. So just give us a DM on any social platform, and then you'll get a shout out. But yeah, mate. I mean, we were talking about Wembley 3 times in a row. That would be nice, but ultimately, the league form is what needs to be picked up. I mean, we were talking about last season. I was interviewing a guy called Steve who he ended up
Yeah,
calling out Lewis, and
I've seen it all.
that caused a few,
I've seen the video. Lewis has done a video on his own platform.
yeah.
So I love to see it. I love to see it.
I mean,
Me
it's content.
personally, I wouldn't call Lewis out because he's too smart and you just end up killing me. But fair play for this team for coming out and having these, everyone's got their opinions and stuff. Like I watch a lot of different platforms. Like you got from Johnny Minerals, he's calling out the board. You've got Lewis calling out the manager, and you've got certain people calling out the players. Everyone's got their opinions on how things are at the minute at Chelsea. But all I can say is we're 2 years into a process. Yes, the board haven't got certain things right, but when you actually look at it, Roman Abramovich made plenty of mistakes throughout his time at Chelsea. Look how many managers he hired and fired. Look how much money.
That's not a great way to start off. That's
No,
not a great way to start. Roman Abramovich came in and won the league title.
no,
Yeah.
no, not in his first season. Not in his first season. His second season, he won the title.
He brought Mourinho in, and
No.
they started
The
winning trophies.
first season we had Claudio
Yeah, he had
Ranieri.
Ranieri. Okay, so what? We still
Second
finished
season.
top 3. I mean, come on, you can't compare.
We finished
that.
top 4 the season before under Ken Bates.
No, but my point is that where we are now is. I think
Things
it's very
take time, Alex. What I'm trying to get to is I've been negative myself. And you know the reason why? Because I've been getting drawn into all the stuff that I've been seeing myself. And really and truly, all you've got to look at it, think, if you've got a brain cell in your mind, you'll understand that things take time. We can't expect, okay, we'll come very close to winning the cup, and we probably bottled it on Sunday. But if we won it, that would have probably been us overachieving in the perspective of the process. Because when you think of it like every team, even Liverpool, when they had Klopp, they had a few seasons where they never won anything. Man United, when they got rid of Ferguson, took them a couple of seasons to win something. Arsenal, okay, they won the FA Cup, but look now, the 5 years haven't even been close to winning anything. Man City took them 2-3 seasons. When their new owners came in, it took them 5-6 seasons to win something and to find a formula. So what's the difference to Chelsea? Because we've been treated to that much trophies the last 20 years that we expected to win every year. It doesn't work like that. You've got to give things time. And obviously the owners have got it wrong with certain things they've done. But summer is very important to where we're going to go. We'll see where we're going to be. We know now we don't need any more under 21 potential players. We need proven quality players, and that will take us to the next step, hopefully. If that's not the case, we're going to be in the same position we are this time next year. So let's see.
If these owners sign more under 21 players, I mean, you can't support it. You cannot support it. And for me, I was clinging on to 2 things. One of them was January. Okay, what business are we going to do in January? Get rid of Broha, get rid of Maatsen, see how that goes. And then you want to get a striker, and we bid for Victor Gorkarez, who at the time, I'll be brutally honest with you, Kev, I had no idea who he was, and people were almost outraged that we had such a large bid rejected.
Oh no, it's banging in goals left, right, and centre, but you got to think it's in the. No offense to the league, it's in the Portuguese league.
Well, so, you talk about the Portuguese league, man. I mean, those players tend to actually have a really good transition into the Premier League. That they have a really good success rate. If you're going to compare them to Germany or France, for example, you get a lot of players from Portugal sign on big money who do end up performing. And a couple of names: Ruben Diaz, Darwin Núñez is starting to click for Liverpool.
Edison.
That's just a couple. I've obviously missed some out. Enzo Fernandez obviously came from
Edison, Paulina from Fulham.
There you go, mate. Lisbon. So
you are right. Enzo, and like you just said,
I wouldn't. Enzo's not worth 100 odd million, but he's an upgrade on Jorginho for me. In pretty much every. No, he is an upgrade because he plays progressive football. He plays progressive football, and
did you see the ball? Did you see the ball by Jorginho just the weekend going against Newcastle?
So
When you
you
talk
want to
about
show me
progressive.
one pass? I'm watching games, Kev, not passes.
Yeah,
I'm watching games.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah,
Jorginho's having good moments in a great team, and you know, fair play to him. But Enzo's doing very well, I think. But certainly can do better. You know, by no means is he worth the money we've paid for him. Whereas I think Caicedo's settling in a little bit better, but I think he's been managed a little bit better as well. So we'll see how that clicks. It takes years to build partnerships, and this is only
yeah,
their first year. I think Potter's finally cracked the code that you need to play those two together. But we'll see. I mean, Kev, let's get straight to it. I mean,
yeah.
talk to me about Brentford. How do you think we're going to set up based on what you saw in the Leeds game?
I think Brentford's total different opposition to it's just total up and other end of the spectrum in regards to a footballing team. I think Leeds they came fair play to them. Leeds showed no fear whatsoever, and to think one team's a Premier League team, one team's a Championship team. Okay, we're not too far off in respect of the football pyramid. Only 11 places off when you're looking at that, so it's not too far away. But they came out and they pressed and they got up the pitch and they got into areas to cause us danger. From the first 5 minutes, they pressed us. And to think Robert Sanchez started the game and, that playing at the back football, which we've seen all season, it hasn't worked. Within the first 5 minutes, we proved to us once again it hasn't worked. Leeds press us, tapping. So Brentford, I don't think they'll be the same. I don't think they'll press us the way they did. I think Brentford are more of a sit-back team. They're sitting the two banks of four and they look to get you on counter attacks. Very strong, very disciplined. Well, they haven't been so disciplined the last 12 games, only won two. But they have the form team against us. We haven't scored in 3 games against them, and we haven't won in 4. So Brentford have got a bit of a bulky team against us, let's say. So it's not going to be an easy game. Like someone mentioned earlier, the Brentford Community Stadium is a bit like Britannia in a sense that it's a difficult place to go to. Even though West Ham just beat them on Monday, don't. We are not West Ham. We are Chelsea. Anything could happen. It can swing
All right,
each.
Kev. All right, you can't prop up West Ham that much. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it could swing either way.
We are not West Ham. We are Chelsea. Fucking
Yeah,
hell. I mean, I know the standards have dropped, but
yeah, I know standards have
come on,
really
mate.
dropped. But what I can say is, if we are not up for the fight first and foremost, because they got more pay. He's a good player, but he can get into your head. He battles, he fights. He's a bit like Costa in a sense where he can get. They're going to be pulling every single trick out at the book to try and get this result. They need it more than us. They've slipped down to 15th place. They're in a relegation battle, so a win against us could do them good. Let's say so. Let's see how it goes, but not feeling too confident of the win. To be fair,
Mate, I mean, they're 16th actually. So,
yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Them drop one
I
more
mean,
place.
they are in the relegation battle, but they're not at the same time. For me, I think Thomas Frank and the players and Tony, I think when it clicks, it clicks. It's just one of those teams. Whereas, any of the teams they're competing against with Everton, Nottingham Forest, Luton, those are the ones they're really competing against. I mean, I've seen Luton play great football, still miss out on points. I think Everton struggle to have a good game and dominate throughout. And I would say something similar for Forest. They just don't take their chances. So I
Yeah,
don't see Brentford going down. I wouldn't want Brentford to go down if I'm honest with you. I mean, it's just great for me. Nice and easy. I honestly, mate, my girlfriend lives. She's a 2-3 minute drive away from Brentford. She's in Chiswick, so
yeah,
it's perfect
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
So I'll go there, stay around. I'll have a good time, and I do think that it comes down to how the way Poch sets up, and people say he's unpredictable.
yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. I don't see how that's entirely a bad thing. That means that other managers will struggle to read him. I mean, if that's
No,
the point people are making, then
no.
you
But
would think that's the case.
when you're trying to find your feet, you need consistency, Alex. You can't keep changing it. That's
I mean,
where,
you're talking
you
about
know,
consistency in terms of players and styles.
performance.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that the way we try to play, I think that's pretty consistent. I don't
Mm,
think we changed too much. I think generally speaking, over the season, Poch has
mm,
tried to get us to play a similar way. He's made tweaks, different tweaks. I think one of those tweaks we're going to see is Petrovic is our number one. Obviously, we're getting used to playing with the back four. We could never do that under Tuchel. And obviously Enzo's coming a little bit deeper. So those for me are the standout points from a tactical perspective that Pochettino has made. But it's bloody Brentford, mate. Really, we should go into this game like it's like I said against Stoke, and you would think it's a kind of game where you win 1-0 or something like that, just grab a goal and keep a clean sheet. But if you look at Brentford's results, I mean, they're actually scoring a lot and conceding a lot as well. We're similar. We can't keep a clean sheet, but we can score a goal.
yeah.
But then for some reason, Kev, we get criticised for not being able to put the ball in the back of the net. What a weird situation that is, mate. Like
Yeah.
last
And,
year,
mm,
we couldn't score a fucking goal. Last year, we would celebrate a goal, mate. I will never forget Man United away. Lewis got me on the vlog. I was loving life when João Felix got that goal. We were 4-1 down. We scored a goal. Who cares?
yeah,
Now we're scoring 2-3 goals in the game a lot of the time.
yeah.
And we're still not confident that we can secure 3 points on an away day. I mean,
Because
I
defensive,
know that things
it's
aren't great, but
yeah.
I don't know. I suppose I do agree in a sense. You don't know what you're going to get, but I think
Yeah.
it's a lot better than last year. You said that yourself, Kev.
Mm,
Just to go back to
I wouldn't say a lot better. I'd say
it's better. It's better.
yeah, yeah,
That's
of
the point,
course.
isn't it? There is
It
a
is.
progression.
Last season was very depressing. And the reason being is just the morale of the team. Like you said, it was clear to see a lot of players wanted to go. And that's the only difference, really. you know, but yeah, I think defensively is where we are undoing ourselves this season. I think some of the decisions, in-game decisions, are poor. I think set plays, especially poor. And going back to the Leeds game, last game, because for me personally, you go for last game. Well, you can say your last two games: corner kick, set play. Against Liverpool, we concede. Playing at the back, we concede, and across. It's the same. We concede in goals of the same thing. It's not like teams are scoring world class goals against us. We basically handing teams goals every single game. And,
The
and
thing is, Kev, right, let me ask you this then. So how do we deal with that? I mean, is that something that people can talk about coaching all they want, right? But maybe we just don't have players who are able to deal with those situations. Those players that's
it's
their
it's
weakness. I mean, is
it's
that is
there to,
that a potential argument?
it's a bit of both, but more coaching. Obviously,
Okay.
you go look at it like this, Alex. If your team's poor on set plays, what do you go? What do you do on the training pitch? What are you going to want to do on the training pitch? Even though it's going to be boring, what are you going to go and do? You're going to go and work on. You're going to work on it and work on it and work on it and improve. And like, what team is it now? What's really improved on set plays as a team? Arsenal, for instance. Look at Arsenal. 2, 3 years ago, probably the worst team in set plays in the league. It was proven. Look at them now. They scored the most goals in set plays. They looked very strong, defending set plays. So that's the reason why they've gone from the 7th or 8th place where there was to compete at the top. And I just don't believe that we're working on it,
Well,
because every single game it's a repeat of the same errors every single game.
I would agree with you with Arsenal, but I mean that a lot of credit goes to their set piece coach. And by the way, we lost our set piece coach, who was one of the best in the business, Anthony Barry. He's ended up going and joining Bayern Munich
Right?
with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Whether he regrets that decision now, I don't know, because things don't seem to be going too well in Germany.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a massive factor in why we're struggling as well. Because if you already had one of the best, and I mean, I don't know who's replaced him. My guess is it's someone from Brighton.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong,
More
guys, in
than
the comments.
more
Who
than likely.
actually is our set piece coach? I'm going to find this out after the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I agree with you, mate. We don't look dangerous. We don't
Mm.
seem to have a consistent way of taking these set pieces. You know, I
Yeah,
see Chilwell taking them, I see
and like
Modric taking
yesterday,
them.
Mudryk was taking corners and was hitting the first man every single time. I was just nodding my head. The corner kicks don't look like they've been trained. If you see what I'm trying to say, it's just like get the ball and cross in and hope that we're going to score. That's what it is. And then when we're defending them, you've got Chilwell like on Sunday marking Van Dijk on set plays. Like for me personally, if I'm the coach, I'm saying the Sarsi, you get Van Dijk, and Colwell, you get Canute, because they're our two tallest players. So why have we got Chilwell marking? And if you think about it, it's been like all season, Alex. It hasn't changed. And we're going into this Brentford game, and what are they good at? Set plays. They get the majority of the goals from counter attacks and set plays. So I am very worried going into this game that they're going to get us on a set play. And I'm sure Thomas Frank has been watching the games over the last few weeks, and he's rubbing his hands like this, thinking, if we get a few balls into the box, into the dangerous players like Tony and everyone else, we can get goals from this. And it's looking
Yeah,
like they probably will.
I certainly wouldn't say that Chelsea are. I don't think that teams are looking forward to playing us as much as they would maybe a month ago. I think that's different. I think we've certainly gained a bit more respect since then. I think even with the cup final, I mean, Gary Neville's backtracked. He said, "Oh, you know, I didn't mean bottle jobs." You bloody said it, Gary. So stand by it. You
Do
know,
you care what Gary Neville said? Gary Neville's irrelevant. He's just a pundit on Sky. A failed manager. He needs to look at his own team before he starts making comments on our team. And screw him basically. Like the comments for him to say that we bottle jobs for us to get to a final, we've achieved something, and it's done more than what his team's done all year. So
that's true,
people can
especially
come.
in that competition.
There you
So
go. Yeah,
yeah, hopefully we can. I would love it if we finish in front of United, but we'll see. I've got one question for you, Kev. You spoke before the video about Thomas Frank potentially it being his last year at Brentford. I personally never heard about that. I mean,
yeah.
where did you get that information?
Well, he's been linked with us for one.
He's not coming to Chelsea.
I
Where are
wouldn't
you getting
take
this from?
I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him anyway.
Where,
Well,
so,
I've read news that it's just a change. He's been there for 4 seasons. He's took him to the
been a
where
very
the
good manager for them. Like respect to the man.
brilliant. He's took him from the Championship to the Premier League, and to think only 5 years ago they was in League One, so they've come and they've been a consistent team in the Premier League. Thomas Frank's taken him to where they need to. So apparently there's a bit of a change at the end
But
of the
if he
season.
leaves Brentford, where's he going?
Who
What
knows?
club? Like, I don't see a more stable
Listen,
option for him, like in the
I think
Premier League.
I think he's really is
I tell, you
cement.
know
He's
what?
cement.
I tell you who might take him.
Newcastle, they got a good
West
shot.
Ham or Newcastle.
Yeah.
They sacked Moyes, but then you got Potter as well. I heard Potter might be sniffing around the West Ham
Thomason
job.
could be brilliant for West Ham. I think 100%. And
They're not
West
patient
Ham,
though, man. They're not patient. You
yeah,
know, you want
yeah,
time. They're not giving you time.
yeah. But just going into a bit about the game. Them obviously massive change against Leeds. Sanchez in goal. Obviously that decision backfired in us within the first 5 minutes. No brainer. You start Petrovic in goal.
Petrovic is our number one. I was having a debate on a podcast earlier about this, and I was chatting with I think it was a Tottenham fan, and he was saying, you know, it doesn't look like Chelsea have a clear number one. I was like, what are you smoking, man? You clearly haven't watched the games. And he was like, well, Petrovic is decent, but he's not Allison or Edison. Mate,
He's up there.
we're
He's up there.
fucking mid-table. We don't need Allison. I need a keeper who can get me top four. I need a keeper that can keep me there. If Kepa can do it, Petrovic can do it. And that's the way I
100%.
look at that situation. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Petrovic is levels above Kepa. Levels above
Levels.
Kepa. And you don't need to
Yeah.
be an expert to see this, Kev. You know, ultimately, it's about moments. And if you've
Yeah.
got a good goalkeeper, you don't have to force moments. Like, you don't have to look at it and go, oh, that was an amazing save when he does something simple, like catch a ball in a box or stop
Yeah.
the stop a goal from going in.
Or
And for
just
me,
freaking kick the ball out where he needs kicking out instead of passing it straight to your centre back in the area when you're under pressure. The simple things
yeah,
it's just common sense. Literally.
he installs confidence in the back line, and that's all I
Yeah,
want. Mate,
yeah,
keep Petrovic. He's on a 7-year deal. You
yeah,
know, like people can say what they want about the Clear Lake ownership and all that. They have made some solid signings, but unfortunately, not enough of them. Really, look at Petrovic, Gusto, and Palmer. They're the only ones you can say you got your bang for your buck. I think Caicedo and Enzo are good. I think Nkunku's a great player. We haven't seen our money's worth.
yeah.
You know, not to say that we've had flops because there's been a few shaky ones, but you know we need more consistency in that sense. I mean, how do you see us getting anything out of this? You want, you know, if you're a Brentford player or Thomas Frank, you're going to be trying to hit us on the counter and set pieces like you said. So how can Chelsea win? How can we get something out of this?
So obviously they've changed the formation recently. There was a 4-2-3-1 last year. Now they've gone to a three at the back, so a 3-5-2. With the 3-5-2 formation, we already know the space is down the sides of the defenders. So your right centre back and your left centre back, that's where you're going to get your most joy. So if we can double up on them, so just give Gusto and Chilwell the permission to go forward. So I want to see overlaps. I want to see our win. I want to see our fullbacks pressed up. That's where we can get space. There in the wings is where we'll get the most joy against Brentford. And that's something that I think over the last few games, we've had a lot of joy from. I think the majority of our goals, the goal against City was from the wing. The opportunity against Liverpool, which got cancelled out, that was a crossing from the box. Goals yesterday, that was a cross. So if we could continue to play the same way and get the balls into the wings, down the channels, down the flanks, that's where we can get Brentford. And I believe they've conceded a lot of goals from them areas as well. So that's where we can hurt them.
Fair play to you, mate. And
Yeah,
where do you see the threats coming from Brentford? I mean, Tony's obvious, but I mean, we spoke
yeah,
with people earlier.
yeah.
He's been all right. He's scored some goals when he first come in, but it's not like he's scoring every single game.
No, he hasn't been the same guy, hasn't he? I think he come back and he scored on his game back, to say, and he's just gone quiet. But I don't think that's down to him. I think the team's kind of took a back step. I don't think they invested heavily in the summer. I think Ben Mee was one of the massive acquisitions. Ben Mee, not really a massive name, and they've signed Reguilon. They got him from Tottenham after he had a bad spell at Man United. So they haven't really invested in the team as much as they should have, and it's clear to see why they're struggling now. I think if they'd brought a few more players, I think they'd be a bit higher up because the manager's not a bad manager. I think tactically he's on point. He's got the best at not a very good squad. If you ask me, they're a relegation team, but Thomas Frank's drilled them really well. Like I said, counter attacks are very dangerous against us in the last game. They practically walked a goal in against us. So yeah, hopefully it's not the same case on Saturday. But yeah, it's a flip of a coin. How do you want to see it? If we want to go there and sit back and play at the back, we inviting pressure out, we can lose the game. But if we get the ball up and we get the balls into areas where we can hurt them, we can win. So it's just a flip of a coin which Chelsea's going to turn up. And we've been saying it all season. We just don't know, don't we?
No. Oh, you got no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah,
That's yeah. I mean, I've watched some games and I've fallen asleep, and I've watched some games I'm having a heart attack. But you know that's the beauty of football, isn't it, Kev? You don't know what's going to happen.
yeah,
Um, what I
unpredictability.
will say is that I think we can get something out of this game. I don't know if it's a win. Um, Personally, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah,
I think there'll be goals. I think we'll have good play, but I think we'll also make mistakes. And ultimately, you know, I don't seem to have confidence with the way we defend. We just can't stop goals from going in, and
yeah,
that's the problem. If you can keep a clean sheet and get 2 goals, I mean that's a solid result for any team. I don't care who you are. You know, it's a Premier League game against a good opposition. You take what you can get, but yeah, I don't see us necessarily getting 3 points. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going 2-2. What about you, mate?
Like I said, last 3 games we haven't scored a goal against them, and We haven't beaten him before. So it's because their form hasn't been the best, and we're taking gradual steps towards something. I do believe we can score. If I was a betting man and I went on to match bingo, joking, yeah, I'd say 1-1 draw.
Yeah. It's fair, isn't it? It's fair. There's never goals when we play Brentford. I think.
If
Have
the
I
last
ever
time
seen
they
goals?
beat us 4-0,
No,
last
no.
season before they beat us 4-0, didn't they?
Not at Brentford.
At the bridge 4-0 under Tuchel.
No, 4-1, mate. 4-1.
It's 4-1, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, we did get one goal at
I
least.
meant,
Um, but yeah, no, bloody hell, I remember that game. I think no, that wasn't like that was the season. That was before then. Rudiger scored a
last
great goal.
season, the season before. Yeah.
Yeah, Rudiger scored a screamer from outside the box, and I was still in the concourse, so I missed it. And then I obviously saw every goal Brentford scored. But yeah, mate, fair enough. Well, listen, guys, if you've been watching for the whole 31 minutes, thank you for staying with us. Really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate it. Leave your comments below as well. If you agree with anything I've said or Kevin, let us know. And I reiterate, if you win anything on Match Bingo, please DM the channel on any social or me personally. I will give you a shout out on the next video. It's nice to see Chelsea fans do well because on the pitch, it's a little bit shaky. So if we can do well off the pitch, I mean, at least we can say we've got something out of this season. But I'll leave you guys to it. All the best, and we will catch up very, very soon.